first of all, you're always what you really are first.
True.
You're a spy second. Right? So, I mean, you very well could be the first person to do it for comedy.
Right?
Keep on the path. And when you get the invite, don't admit it to anybody. And that's how you'll get there. Right? But essentially, the thing to understand is that, professional athletes, entertainers, they're fantastic assets for intelligence collection for two reasons. One, you don't have to have a formal relationship with the federal government at all. Mm-hmm. Right? Like for me, when I went to CIA and was trained to be a core collector, when that process happens, there's a formal contract with the federal government that has to be obfuscated. It has to be buried after it's formalized. That's the problem with a formal relationship. When you're an asset, you don't have a formal relationship. When you're an asset, it's really just, I have information that can support national security. National security then decides whether or not they're going to pay you for that information, support you for that information, and, whatever, represent you or do something else. Do something beneficial to you. So 100%, and that asset is what a spy is, right? So when you're a spy, you're an asset. When you're not a spy, when you're an operator, you're what's considered an officer, different than a spy, different than an asset, right?
And there's a lot of on the books documentation when that happens.
Exactly.
When you're an officer.
Exactly. But when you're a spy, that all can happen off the books. So just, one of the funny things to me, when I first learned how to handle an asset in the field, I always just assumed, like the movies make it look like, hey, you give me some sexy piece of information, I slide you an envelope full of money. Yeah. And like we fist bump and we're good. It is not like that at all. Like, there is a agreement. There is a receipt.
Oh, really?
There is a fixed amount of money that you have to meet certain criteria before you get. And the amount of money, it barely fits like in a straw, let alone in an envelope, right? So it's the reality of how that stuff works is much less sexy than you think. But
that's interesting.
I'll tell you what, man, you become a comedian that you become like a Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Where you get invited to North Korea to like do a private show for Kim Jong-un.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone's gonna knock on your door and be like, "So, Mr. Gagnon, we understand."
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you go.